Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Rad World, and as you might be able to tell, none of my armor is netherite. In fact, nothing is netherite. Yeah, I died, but I didn't catch it on camera. Probably for the best. It was a pretty pitiful death. I'll tell you what happened. Actually, I'll show you the scene of exactly where it happened. Right there. This is the exact place where it all happened. So I walk in, I mine the block, I see two creepers down there, and without thinking, I just jump on the hole. The creeper runs over the pressure plate, creeper explodes, boom. That's it. Everything's gone. The crater is huge. I tried to come back here and get some stuff back, but no. Absolutely nothing survived. Luckily, though, but with all the villagers and diamonds that I have, I was able to get almost everything back. There's something such as a helmet that doesn't have aqua affinity on it, and the sword that doesn't have looting 3 on it. But those are manageable. The one thing I have not gotten back, though, is the nice netherite bling to all of it. But we're going to solve that with this box right here. Really quick, though, I should probably go over what happened in the last episode. In the last episode, I built this cute rooster statue. He looks beautiful, I tell you. Even though I could have done a much better job on him, in my opinion. It turned out pretty good in my opinion. And I added all of these pathways that go around the rooster statue down here and then down to the mine entrance. With that being this thing. Now the mine interior is not done yet, so that was really about it. Of course I discussed how annoying it would be to drain the squid. But now, onto the boom part. I am really hoping that this is enough TNT, as this took a lot of gunpowder, a full shulker box. Now the gunpowder farm that I have is amazing, so I could easily get that back, but mining the sand is just a little tedious. I don't like it. It doesn't feel very good on the diamond shovel. I say we find a nice place down here that isn't surrounded by lava. Actually, I know just the spot. Down over here. So never mind, that's not going to be the spot because this lava lake expands all the way down here, so I just mine into a lava lake. Instead, I think this position over here will be much better. And besides, this is easy to remember. It's a big open cavern. With the spot found and almost everything set up, I say we gotta do a time lapse of me blowing up the nether. Oh, and of course finding netherite too. That's the whole purpose of this. Totally. back. Man, was that painful. The netherite part, not so bad. Finding the armor trim, on the other hand, oh my. I had to travel like 2,000 blocks, visited 5 bastions. I got some other cool stuff like pig step and a ton of gold, but man, was it annoying. And this time around, I actually got enough netherite so that every single piece of equipment is now netherite, instead of the lonely shovel being only diamond. Everything else has got almost perfect chance except for the sword and the helmet and even the boots. I had Death Strider 3 on the boots, so that was really nice. I just have to get those another time. I'm not willing to mine another piece of quartz today. I won't do it. What I need is an XP farm. That might be a next episode thing. Now it's on to draining this river. As you might be able to tell, I have moved these little pieces here. The little border areas from the AFK spot up there. Now I installed a mod that allowed me to basically see the despawn sphere. So now I know exactly where I need to put the barrier. With that being this left one right here, and then extending this one out slightly. So all in all, it's actually a little less draining, which is so nice. I already got everything prepared. The sponges, the furnaces, the bed, everything is ready. I prepared myself for this because this is going to be a very tedious task. I am first going to mark out the areas like the draining spots with netherrack, and then I'm going to go back through and drain it all. The only issue I'm really worried about is the fact that this cave down here goes so deep. Like, look at this. This is not going to be fun to drain. But with all of that said, I'll see you guys in a few minutes. It'll be 5 hours for me. Not looking forward to this. Okay, see ya. Alright guys, and we are back. I never want to do that again in my life. It sucked. Well, it wasn't that bad at the beginning. This is a very shallow part of the river, so I didn't have to deal with any sort of problems. But when it came to this deep part back here, I just, yeah, I didn't drain all the cave. I didn't want to. And besides, it's not like it gets into the sphere of spawning anyways. These back caves don't interfere with the farm at all and its productivity. And so I just kind of left it here. It looks horrendous. I don't know why I used netherrack for it. It was just a cheap and easy block to get. But don't worry, that won't stay there for the entire series. That'll be changed to probably dirt. In fact, all of this floor here will get changed to dirt, or I might just actually make it like a little flat land here and not have it be a river. And then these walls won't stay the same. They'll be changed to like kind of dam walls just to fit in with the aesthetics more. But yeah, that's the draining completed. And I figured out exactly what was wrong with the squid farm. I thought it was the river. I thought the river was interfering with the spawns and it wasn't spawning very efficiently. But when I got done draining the river and I went to AFK, I AFK'd for like an hour, came back, 9 exacts. So I was like, something else is wrong with it. As it turns out, these water columns were only supposed to be columns. There wasn't supposed to be water down here or on these other magma blocks because that would allow the squids to swim and avoid death, right? Oh, hello there, sir. They would be able to swim on the waterlogged trapdoors and be fine. I figured that out by using free cam. I was up there, brought my camera down here, and then realized they weren't dying. So I went back to the tutorial, rewatched the tutorial, and realized what I did wrong. Additionally, there was a spruce fence down here. I think it was that one. But that one was placed right here. So every single time I would drop the water, it would spill out everywhere. So at least it's working now. All this and this was just from 30 minutes of AFKing. That's more ink sacks than I know what to do with. I'm going to have so much black dye. So I'm just glad it's working now. It was such a pain to get to where I'm at now with the squid farm, but it's all over. It's all done. I can go back and build another farm. But now it's on to the more detailed plans of this naval dockyard. Now, I haven't gotten too far into it. No buildings have been created for it yet, but I have a general idea of what I want to do. So, what I will do with this white one, I probably won't do it in this episode, but there will be basically a kind of barrier going around here outlining where I want the docks or where I want the naval dockyard to come out at. It's not going to be one huge triangle. This is probably going to come out here and then go in again and then cut back over here. Yeah, just follow the basic terrain that's already present here. And then of course we'll have the different dockyards. So for say a small dockyard could be there, a large one could be here, and there will be multiple different buildings transporting materials. There will be cars, there'll be cranes lifting up the materials and certain parts of the ship hulls, which I plan on building. So in the future, I hope to build a 1-to-1 scale of USS North Carolina. Now it won't be exactly 1-to-1 scale because of Minecraft's limitations, but I have marked out how long the ship would be. And it's safe to say that this thing is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I was hoping that I could make a dockyard here that went up to right about there, but it's a little longer than I thought it was. And I don't think it'll fit over here either. I think this is just too short for it. So instead, I might just build something else. You know, I was hoping that I would be able to basically build North Carolina out in the water here, right? And it would fit out here easily. But I kind of wanted a dockyard to be the same size as the ship so that you could basically tell it came from this dockyard and not any other dockyard, right? So I think I'll have to start with a smaller ship and probably stick to the World War I era and not get into the big ships of World War II. But that doesn't mean I can't put a dockyard here. If the battleship is small enough to where it'll fit below this point, then we're all good. And besides, I could just basically refit it into a submarine destroyer or cruiser dockyard here. But I don't want to ditch the idea of building USS North Carolina, as it is one of my most favorite ships. But that'll probably have to be at a later date. I'll basically have to wait for the dockyard to get large enough, as I expand upon it and stuff like that. But I have a backup ship, you could say, with that being the SMS Kaiser. It's a little shorter and it's from the World War I era, so it shouldn't be too large. I have actually marked it out back here. So as you could tell, that was where the North Carolina was, and it shrunk back to here. Now, it's not a huge difference, but it's manageable. I can probably take this and flip it here, and we can actually have a working dockyard over here. And besides, the dockyard is going to come out a bit more than just from this edge. It's probably going to come out another 10 or 20 or so blocks. So that's even less. So I'm guessing it would probably actually stick out right about there-ish. So yeah, I think that will be the new plan. And of course, that's not everything for Phase 1, but that is the most relevant information. There's of course the airbase and the army installation that's gonna come later, but I just wanted to tell you about the dockyard because that is the first project of Phase 1. I think that for next episode, I go ahead and actually get my gear in tip-top shape. I'm talking Aqua Affinity, Respiration, Depth Strider, maybe even Swift Sneak, Looting 3, and all that stuff on my equipment, so that way I don't have any limitations in the future. On top of that, I'm thinking of also creating an XP farm, as I desperately need one. And that would be an Enderman XP farm, as those are probably the most efficient. Alrighty then, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Goodbye!